Good morning, students. We begin with today's lecture. In the last lecture, we had looked into a delay generation program. We generated a delay of 1 millisecond using timer 0 operating in mode 1. Oscillator frequency given was 12 megahertz, right? So an accurate delay of 1 millisecond was required. So then how do we obtain this delay? The very first thing we need to do is we need to find what is the actual count that should be loaded in the count registers, so that if the oscillator connected is 12 megahertz, we get a delay of 1 millisecond using the timer program. So we first did the count calculation. So the relation for finding out the count is equal to oscillator frequency divided by 12 into the required frequency. What was the required frequency? The time delay is given 1 millisecond. So the required frequency was 1 upon 1 millisecond. We substituted the oscillator frequency 12 megahertz, required frequency 1 upon 1 millisecond, and we came out with the count calculation 1000. Right? Later on, since we are the timer counters in 8051 microcontroller are up counters, that 1000 indicates when we count 1000 1 megahertz square wave pulses, we are going to get a delay of 1 millisecond. Correct? So that is the meaning of that count calculation, right? So the count calculation came as 1000. That indicates when we count 1 megahertz square wave 1000 times, we will get a delay of 1 millisecond. Now, since these are up counters, to count 1000 pulses, we need to do the modification something like this. Correct? So, from the maximum count 65536, we will subtract the obtained 1000 count. Right? Because these are up counters. So, 65536 minus 1000, we got the count as 64536. Now, if these were down counters, I could have directly loaded that 1000 count, right? Down counting 1000, 999, 998, and when it reaches 0, we would have exactly calculated 1000. But that does not happen with up counters. Okay, so if I load 1000, then it will go on incrementing up 1000, 1001, 1002, 2000, 2001, 3000. Like this, it will go up to 65,000. So for up counting, loading 1000 is not going to give me the correct delay. It is going to count more than 1000 pulses. So then how do we fix up that problem? We subtract 1000 from the terminal count, the maximum count 65536. And that is what is loaded. Right? Now 64536, the count to be loaded is in decimal. We converted into hex, that was FC18, and we loaded this into the registers. Is that okay? And then how did we start with writing the program? We first initialized the TMOD register. So using TMOD register, we operated the peripheral in timer mode, in mode 1, correct? And the software enabling of the timer, and hence the TMOD control word came as 01. Then we cleared the timer flag. Okay, then we loaded the count. Then we started the timer, kept on checking the flag bit. If the flag bit is 0, mean the count up is still going on, 1 millisecond delay has not arrived. Wait and keep on checking the flag continuously. Whereas if the flag bit is 1, mean there is an overflow. 1000 pulses have been counted and 1 millisecond delay has completed. So if there is an overflow, the flag will be set and we stop the program. If the flag is 0, we will wait, repeatedly checking this flag again and again. Is that okay? So that is how was our program. So now in today's lecture, we will see how to generate a square wave of 10 kilohertz, right? So we will see a square wave generation using timer counters. Okay, so let us look at the statement. Write a program to generate a square wave of 10 kilohertz on P1.0 bit of microcontroller 8051. Use timer counter peripheral. Is that okay? So just let me modify that. So use, right, using timer counter peripheral. Is that okay? So now see what we are supposed to do now. 10 kilohertz square wave, and that too it is to be available on P1.0 bit, right? Now they have given oscillator frequency as 12 megahertz. So see your students, whenever oscillator frequency is given, it's an indirect indication we need to operate this peripheral as a timer peripheral. Okay, if mention a clock of 12 megahertz is connected to T0 T1 pins, then it's an indication that it should be a counter peripheral, right? Counting anything connected on T0 T1 pins, it becomes a counter, and if the oscillator clock pulses are counted, then it becomes a timer. So from the statement we get that clear, we should be operating that as a timer peripheral, or the peripheral should be in timer mode, right? Now see, when I say it is a square wave of 10 kilohertz, correct, mean what is its time period, right? The time period is 1 upon frequency, so 0.1 milliseconds, correct. So what is the total time period? If the frequency is 10 kilohertz, the time period of one square wave is 0.1 milliseconds, right? Now when I say square wave, there is one term associated with it, duty cycle. Okay, generally the square waves are of 50% duty cycle. That 50% tells out of that total time, how much is the time the square wave is logic 1, and the remaining time the square wave is logic 0, right? So generally the square waves are of 50% duty cycle, mean half of the time period, half of the total time period, the square wave is logic 1, and another half of the total time period the square wave is logic 0. So there is a term associated called as duty cycle. Okay, so generally the square waves are of 50% duty cycle, right? So if I say I have a time period of total time is of 0.1 millisecond, half of 0.1 is 0.05 milliseconds. So for a 50% duty cycle, that on period mean the square wave is logic 1 for how much time? 0.05 milliseconds. And the off time period mean the square wave is logic 0 for the remaining 0.05 milliseconds. So half of the time period it is logic 1, half of the time period it is logic 0. That is a 50% duty cycle, right? In our problem statement, they have not mentioned about the duty cycle. So it is assumed to be 50% always. But if it is not 50%, they will mention in the program statement, we need a square wave of 80% duty cycle. Mean out of the total time, 80% time, the square wave is logic 1, and for the remaining time, that is 20%, the square wave is logic 0. That is called 80% duty cycle square wave. And one more example, if I say it is 30% duty cycle square wave, it means 30% of total time it is logic 1, and the remaining 70% of total time it is logic 0. So that is duty cycle. Fine, students? Now in our case, we will assume it as a 50% duty cycle. Is that okay? So mean logic 1 will be available for 0.05 milliseconds, and the square wave will be logic 0 for another 0.05 milliseconds. Is that okay? Now there is something told that square wave should be obtained on P1.0 bit. Correct? So how do we, that where the 10 kilohertz square wave should be available? P1.0 bit. Then how do we obtain the square wave? We will set P1.0 bit for a certain time duration. And how much is that time duration? Half of the total time, that is 0.05 millisecond. And later on, we will clear the same port bit P1.0 for certain time duration. And again, how much is that time duration? 0.05 milliseconds. That's how we generate a square wave. Correct? It's mentioned P1.0 bit. So set it and keep it logic 1 for some time duration, then make it logic 0 for some time duration, and repeat this process so as to obtain a continuous square wave. So that is all we should obtain it from the problem statement. Correct? So 10 kilohertz mean the time period of one square wave is 0.1 millisecond. We will assume 50% duty cycle. So the square wave is logic 1 for half of its time, 0.05 millisecond. The square wave is logic 0 for another half of the time, right? And how do we generate a square wave on that port pin? Set it, keep it set for 0.05 millisecond, later clear it and let it be cleared for 0.05 milliseconds. Where will I use this timer counter to generate this 0.05 millisecond time period? Correct. So I will use that timer counter peripheral to generate this accurate time duration, 0.05 milliseconds. Okay. Now for writing the program, you all remember the procedure, right? Before writing the program, let us find out what count is to be loaded in those count registers. And then later on, we will go for doing the programming part, right? And while doing the programming, how do we program it? Set the bit, call the timer program to generate this time duration, clear the bit and call the timer program to generate this 0.05 millisecond time duration, or the delay. You can say that as a delay. So remember students, 10 kilohertz frequency mean the total time is 0.1 millisecond, but my timers should generate a delay of 0.05 milliseconds. This is where everyone makes a mistake. They whatever is that frequency, they find out the time period and they use timer to generate a delay of 0.1 millisecond. They will keep logic 1 for this much time, 0.1 millisecond. The time period becomes double and the frequency becomes half. So be careful. Whatever is the total time period, half of it, that is the delay that should be generated using the timers. Okay, so let us go for timing calculations. Okay, so I'll be using timer. The peripheral will be in timer mode and it will generate a delay of 0.05 millisecond or a time duration of 0.05 millisecond. So let us begin with the count calculations. Okay, so the formula for finding out the count is oscillator frequency divided by 12 into required frequency. Oscillator is 12 megahertz. What is the required frequency? 1 upon 0.05 millisecond. So just substituting those values, oscillator is 12 into 10 raised to 6, 12 megahertz divided by 12 into 1 upon 0.05 millisecond. Correct, students? So this and this 12 cancels out. That 0.05 millisecond is taken in the numerator. That's how you get 1 into 10 raised to 6 into 0.05 milliseconds. And on doing the calculation, the count comes as 50. That's the number in decimal. Okay. So, see, whatever count you get, from that count, you decide in which mode should you operate. Mode 0, mode 1, mode 2, mode 3. As I told you all, mode 0 is a 13-bit. So generally, only 5 bits in the lower register and 8 bits in the higher register. So generally, we don't go for using mode 0. We prefer either mode 1 or mode 2. Right? Now, since the count is 50, if we operate in mode 1, the maximum count that is available is 65,000. Mode 2, the maximum count available is 256. I need a count of only 50. So any mode is applicable. I can get a square wave using any mode. The smallest is 8-bit and that 8-bit count is 256. Correct. So then I decide, let me use timer 1. Again, this is not mentioned in the problem statement. But then since I had used timer 0 in the earlier example. I'm taking here timer 1. This is, we have assumed it. Right. Now, depending on the count calculation, I can decide to operate in mode 1, let the timer be operated in mode 1, or let the timer be operated in mode 2. Both are applicable. Is that okay? Now, whenever I say a square wave, mean that is a continuous, timer should operate continuously. So the more applicable is mode 2. It is an 8-bit timer counter, and the most important is auto reload facility. The count will be loaded again and again, and I'll be getting a continuous square wave. But the same square wave can be obtained using mode 1 also. Fine, we are going to see both. Now, since we had done programming using mode 1, let me go to obtain the square wave using mode 1, and then we will go for that mode 2 example. Okay, both are applicable because the count size is within the limits of mode 1 as well as mode 2. Fine. So let us go for timer 1 in mode 1. Okay. Now, as I told you all, whatever calculations you have got, it indicates when we count 50 clock pulses of 1 megahertz, we will get a delay of 0.05 milliseconds. Correct? Now, to count 50 pulses exactly, what do we need to do? We need to subtract it from the maximum count. I have already decided to use mode 1. Mode 1 is a 16-bit timer counter. So what is the maximum count? 65536. So the actual count that will be loaded is 65536 minus 50, since these are up counters. Okay. On doing this subtraction, I'm going to get 65486. Correct. This decimal number I'm converting it into hex. So what is the count that I'll be loading? I'll be loading the count as FFCE. Is that okay? So we are using timer 1 in mode 1. So the count registers are TH1, TL1. So timer 1, mode 1. The higher count should be loaded in higher register. So TH1 we will be loading. Oh, that is FF. So just let me, I'll be loading FF. Okay. So TH1 we load the higher count, and in TL1 we load the lower count CE. Okay. So the count calculations are done. The actual count loaded is FFCE. Now let us go for programming. Let us write an algorithm first. Okay. So let us see what logic did we think of for generating the square wave on P1.0, right? Set P1.0 and wait for 0.05 millisecond. So let me write the algorithm the way we had thought. Is that okay? So what I will do is, right? I will set P1.0 bit, and we will call the timer program to generate a delay of 0.05 millisecond. So we will call the delay timer program to generate a delay of 0.05 millisecond. Right? Then we will clear P1.0 bit, and again we will call the same timer program to generate a delay of 0.05 millisecond. And we will repeat these steps 1, 2, 3, 4 continuously. So repeat the steps 1 to 4 to get a square wave. So our main program will be like this. Wait for 0.05 millisecond, clear the pin, wait for another 0.05 milliseconds, and repeat this set and clear process. And function, I'll be writing the timer program as a function. Is that okay? So I'll be writing the timer program as a function. And now see, what is the timer program? You all remember how did we write the timer program? The first thing is initialization. So we will be setting the TMOD register. Okay. Then the second point is we will be clearing the flag bit. Right. Third point is we will be loading that count TH1 is equal to and TL1 is equal to loading those counts. Then what we will do is we will start the timer, that is the run bit. We will set the run bit. Next, we will keep on checking the flag, correct? We will keep on checking the flag, right? If that flag, TF1 flag is 0, it means the counting operation is not done, right? If the TF flag is 0, right, wait and keep checking the TF1. Keep on checking that TF1 till it becomes 1. If flag is 0 mean the counting operation is still going on. Wait and keep repeat checking the TF1. Right? So just let me correct this. Repeat checking the TF1 till it becomes 1. And as soon as it becomes 1, as TF1 is logic 1, right? Return to the main program. Now before returning to the main program, right? Stop the timer, stop the counting operation and then return. And then return to the main program. So this is what we are going to do. Is that okay? Right? So just let me know, are you able to see that? Okay, so what did we do? Initially in the main program, we are going to set that T1.0 bit. Then we are going to call the timer program to obtain a time span of or a delay of 0.05 millisecond. Then we are going to clear that T1.0 bit and again call the same timer program to get a delay of 0.05 millisecond. And we will repeat this, making it set clear so as to get a continuous square wave. This will be our main program. Right? Now I'll write that timer program as a function. So whenever I write a function, what is the first thing I need to do? I need to set that tmod register. Is that okay? Now what is the tmod register? Look here. Tmod register is, so we are using timer 1. So we will only initialize the upper 4 bits, whereas the lower 4 bits, timer 0, we are not using it. The lower 4 bits, we will keep it 0, 0, 0. Okay, so the upper 4 bits, the 7th bit is the software enabling, the gate bit. So we are going to enable timer 1 with the help of gate bit. So gate bit should be made 0. Then we are using it as a timer. So C/T bar, that bit should be 0 again. And we are using timer 1 in mode 1. So that control word mode bits are 0, 1. So these are the upper 4 bits. Right? So these are the upper 4 bits of timer 1. Whereas timer 0, we are not using it. So we will keep the lower 4 bits 0, 0, 0. The lower 4 bits as 0, 0, 0. So the control word comes as, look into what is the control word? 10 hex. Okay, so just let me write 0x10. Right, so that's the control word we will be loading in tmod register. Okay, so then that's the control word in tmod register. Right, then we will load the count. What is the count to be loaded? Then we clear the flag bit just for precaution purpose. Right? And now we'll be loading the count. What is the count to be loaded in TH register? Right? What count did we found out? FFCE. So in TH1 register, we will be loading FF, and in lower register, we will be loading CE. FFCE was the count calculation, correct? So the count is loaded in the higher and the lower registers. Right? What next? We will start the timer. Okay, the next thing is, so start counting operation. So the run bit is set. Then we keep on checking that flag, TF flag bit. If the flag bit is 0, we wait and keep on checking the same flag. And if the flag is 1, right? If the flag is 1, we will stop the counting operation and return to the main program. Is that okay? Now we will see, we will write this in Keil. Okay, so let us execute it and see. So let me share another window for Keil. Okay. So hope you are able to see the Keil window. I will write the program for square wave. So project new. So I'll create a new folder and it is square wave. And I give the name of the program also as square wave. Name of the project. Select the device, microchip 89C51. Okay. And we create the hex file. Create a hex file and we start writing the program. And let me write the comments. Okay, so let us start with the program. org000 hex sjump start, and we start with the label same sts. That's the label. Okay, and we'll just write it the way we had written that algorithm. Right, so we are initially starting with the main program. We write the comment. Now next we are going to set the bit. So set bit. Which bit? Where we want the square wave? P1.0. So the comment is set that bit. Okay. So logic 1 on P1.0 to obtain the square wave. Next we will call that timer function. So let me write lcall and let the name be timer. Timer 005 because we are generating a delay of 0.05 millisecond. So this is to generate a delay of 0.05 milliseconds. Okay. Then we clear the bit, clear P1.0 bit. So what are we doing? Sending logic 0 to generate the square wave. Logic 0 to obtain the square wave. And then we again call that timer function. Okay. So let me write it. And we will keep this in loop. Okay. So we will sjump and I will go to start. Setting, clearing, let that be in loop. Okay. So we have done repeat steps 1 to 4. Okay. Now we will write the function. So what is the name of the function? Timer 005. This is the name of the function. Okay. What is the first thing that I need to do? I need to initialize the tmod register, and we have found out the control word as 10x. So move tmod comma hash and that control word 0x10. Okay. So we are initializing timer 1 to operate. So initialize timer 1 to operate in mode 1. Correct. Software enable, and it is a timer. Next we will clear that flag, TF0 flag. So sorry, TF1. So TF1 flag is going to be cleared. So clear TF1 flag bit. This is again for just for precaution. Now we will load the counts. So MOV PL1, and what is the count? The lower count CE hex. So 0x0CE. So that is, let me write the command. Lower count loaded. Okay, then let us load the higher count. MOV TH1. Okay, TH1, and what was the count? FF. So it was FF So low, that is higher count is getting loaded. Higher count is getting loaded. And then we start the timer. So set the run bit, set bit, which bit? TR1. So what are we doing here? Start the timer 1. Start the timer 1. Right? Now keep on checking the flag bit. If the flag bit is 0, remain there continuously checking. So jump if the bit is not set, JNB. Which bit? TF1. Where to jump? At the same instruction. Okay, so I give the label to the same instruction. Okay. And I keep on continuously checking. Right. So if TF1 is 0, let me write this comment. Okay. The one which we had already decided. If that bit is 0, keep on checking the same bit again and again. And as soon as it becomes 1, right, we will stop the timer. So stopping the timer is the run bit is cleared. So CLR, TR1 bit. What are we doing here? We are stop the timer. Stop the timer 1. Then clear the flag. Actually, we have cleared the flag previously, so, but let us do it again. So clear the flag bit. Right? So this is again just for precaution. Whenever we end those timer counting operation, let us clear the flag bit. Clear the overflow flag. Clear the overflow flag. Okay. And then return to the main function. Return RET. And that's it. So that's our delay program. The same thing we had done in the last lecture also. Right? Now let me end the program. Let me end the program. Is that okay? So that's how we generate the square wave. Right? Now again, as we are writing the function, we need to do one initialization. And what is that? Stack. Move SP and let us initialize the stack to 50 hex. 50 hex. Okay, now S jump. Where should I jump? I need not initialize the stack again and again. So I change the label. And where should I jump? To the instruction which sets the port bit, calls the delay program. So where should I jump? Set the bit to generate that square wave. Okay, so the program is done. Let me save it. File save as. Okay, .a. Let me add it in the workspace. Okay. And let me check for any syntax errors. So build the target. 0 error, 0 warning. Very good. Now let us run it. So debug, start the debug session. And what do I need? I need timer 1. So peripheral, select timer 1. So that's the pop-up window for timer 1. And I need port also. Port 1. On port P1.0, we are going to get a square wave. Okay, so let us start executing step by step. So initially jump, initialize the stack pointer 50 hex. Then we set that bit P1.0. See, there is already a tick, mean it is logic 1, it is set. Then we will go to the timer program. We will go to that function. We will initialize tmod. So mode 1, 10 hex in tmod. Right? See, you can see those pop-up windows, timer 1. Then tmod is getting initialized. So look into that tmod timer pop-up window. That mode 1 has been initialized. We are clearing the flag bit. We are loading the lower count CE, loading the higher count FF. We start the timer and see I'm continuously running it. That count operation is happening. Okay. And see that count operation is happening and we are continuously checking that TF1 bit. Now as soon as the count reaches FF, see now it is FF. There's an overflow. It will come out of the jump loop. Stop the timer. Clear the flag and it will return back. And now that port bit P1 bit will be 0 bit will be cleared. So see that's cleared. cleared. And then again the timer function is called, right? It's counting up. And as soon as it reaches FF, it will come out of the jump loop, stop the timer, clear the flag, and it will go back, return to the main program. And then from that main program, right? Let me run the program and see, you can see that tick untick on P1.0 bit. That is an indication a square wave is getting generated. Is that okay, students? Okay, so let me stop here. See it in tomorrow's lecture. Okay, so thank you for attending.